Howdy, Ags, from the tailgate, home of Aggie football. This is the coach and the delivery man. What's up, Corey?
What's up, buddy?
I don't know if you noticed, but I've got a little tie on. I'm all dressed out.
Yeah, Buzz.
You know what the occasion is?
Aggie Basketball, Buzz Williams?
It could be, but no. It's 100th episode of Ags Tailgate. Woo!
We made it! God.
1-0-0.
Not too many sanctions yet either, huh?
No, just a few.
Just a few.
It's all right.
I only pissed off a few people.
This 100th episode is brought to you by Frida Homes, building Aggie dreams, custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in the Brazos Valley. If you are looking for someone that cares about you and the details that you care about, contact Frida Homes. Visit them on Instagram at frida.homes or give Justin a call at 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everyone loves their Frida Homes. Folks, don't forget to contact us here at the tailgate. Email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. You can send us comments on YouTube. Subscribe. You also see us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, etc., etc. Corey, we got some football stuff we're going to get into here today, but let's start with a little bit of Aggie Basketball. Speaking of Buzz Williams, I gotta get my vest on next week.
Yeah.
Next week I'm gonna get my vest on.
You gotta sit over here and sweat beside me, start taking off clothes.
I am, and I feel just like Buzz in that sense. I'm sweating through this thing already.
Yeah, I see it.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm wearing an undershirt under this. Yeah. Still sweating right through it. And in basketball, 18-7 on the season now, 10-2 in the SEC. Pretty special.
Yep.
Last night, big win over LSU, 76-62. I mean, 74-62. Some folks may not appreciate how big this win was because it was LSU who was 1-10 coming into this in conference play. But in reality, because of where they stand, this is a must-win for them, right? They could not lose to LSU and hope that they were going to get into the tournament later. It would have took a lot of.
What did you say? We're 10-2 in conference.
10-2.
Are we in second place right now?
Second place.
Alabama's
all by ourselves. Alabama undefeated at 12-0.
Because Tennessee lost again.
Tennessee's got 4 losses in conference.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
And they're third, right? Mm. So we're with a little bit of a cushion in second place in the SEC here.
We're not top 25.
Not top 25 yet.
That's crazy.
Look. Last night's game, let's start there. Let's start with last night's game. Wade Taylor.
God, he was hot.
Yeah, goes off, right?
Last night. LSU came back. They were down 41-17 at half or something like that. It was something stupid. We were beating the crap out of them first half. You and I were watching.
41-17 at halftime, yeah.
Yeah, we were beating the crap out of them. We were like, oh, this game's over.
Game's over.
Second half, LSU came out stroking. I'm talking shit they couldn't hit in the first half was just
2 minutes in, they'd already hit more shots than they had in the first half.
What did they get the lead down to? 8?
They got it down to, I think, 8 at one point.
And we were like, whoa, man, what's going on here? Hit the brakes. And then Wade,
scoring in the second half was 34-45 LSU. Right? 33-45 LSU.
But, Wade, every time they made a little run, Wade hit a jumper. And shots it. Every time he shot it, I was like, yeah, that's a good shot.
I don't think that's what you were saying. I don't think that's what you were saying at all.
No.
But it went in. Yeah. It went in without touching the rim.
Every time he shot the ball, I was like, oh, no, don't shoot the...
They never touched the rim, by the way. It was either nothing but net or air ball.
Yeah,
one of the two. Yeah. No, but honestly, he played a phenomenal game. Every time, look.
Still turned the ball over a few times.
Only one turnover yesterday.
Well, that one off his foot. You remember that one? He was just dribbling.
One turnover yesterday.
It's ridiculous.
As a team, I think only 7 altogether.
Yeah.
So... really good job of taking care of the basketball.
Not a very good LSU team, by the way.
Not a very good LSU team, by the way. But they played and shot a lot better in the second half when they had their freshmen out there. Bringing in that young group. Yeah. Maybe have some hope for the future, but they're not good right now for sure. Listen, this team came out they had a purpose, right? They knew this was a must-win game. They came out in the first half and they just absolutely shut it down.
Right.
100%. Look, Dexter Dennis in the first half came out, hit 3 threes.
It just pisses me off the way he disappears, though, in the game. You were right. 3 threes first half. He was dominant. Second half.
Yeah, he had a couple of baskets coming off, driving to the hole.
He just wasn't aggressive, I guess the word is.
But here's what I'm going to say. The entire team, you could tell, being up by what they were at half, sort of relaxed.
They did.
Coming out at halftime. And it showed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Offense was stagnant. They weren't moving the ball. They weren't doing a whole lot of different things. They defensively, they were allowing some baskets close up, right?
Free throws, misses boots, missing free throws.
And all of a sudden it becomes like, okay, it's 12 points now. It's 10 points now.
Yeah.
It's looking like, hey, to their credit and to Buzz's credit, Buzz calls a timeout, brings them in, and look, it's like they flipped a switch.
He did. He said, guys, the over-under is 138. We have people that took the under. Let's get under that, and they sure did.
They did. They stayed under.
And we were nervous about that for a little bit.
We could have been nervous about it if we would have made that bet.
We did make that bet.
I don't know about that. Anyway.
Did we not make that bet?
Yeah, who knows? The point being here is that the team really did end up picking it up at some point. And while Boots was struggling from the field, he ended up getting a little bit more aggressive, getting to the line some, right?
Yeah.
To help out. Like you said, Dexter Dennis, second half, sort of just disappears a little bit.
Marble, foul trouble the whole game on the bench, never got in the flow.
Coleman was just kind of, had a couple of nice plays, but
Garcia played a solid game.
Look, Garcia and Solomon, both off the bench, man. I think both of those guys have become a big part of what this team do. But because they're a little bit probably more athletic than the two guys that started the 4 and 5 for us, right?
Yeah.
In Coleman and Marble. So they bring a little bit more athleticism, maybe even a little bit more length at times.
And you and I talked about that. We might need that against the likes of Alabama.
Right, to match up with that length and the things that they're going to bring.
Gordon off the bench played pretty well.
Yeah,
big dunk.
Gave you some
huge
good
dunk. Who knew he had those kind of hops?
I did not know he had those kind of hops big time. You were expecting actually a 360 though.
I said that's what I would have done.
Yeah,
that's what I would have done.
That's what you would have done for sure.
Yeah.
All in all, though, I mean the team comes out, gets the win on the road in the SEC, which yesterday we saw was a challenge. Yep. A bunch of teams losing games.
Well, actually, a lot of teams won on the road yesterday. It was
home games. That's what I was saying. A lot of home teams losing games.
Yeah, a lot of home teams losing games. Yeah, LSU lost, which wasn't surprising. South Carolina won yesterday. Tennessee lost at the buzzer again.
Kentucky,
but Tennessee has 2 losses in a row at the buzzer.
At the buzzer. This one kind of a running third court shot. Just unbelievable.
Vanderbilt looks hot. Vanderbilt. I mean, we caught them at the right time. It looks like.
Yeah. So now the question,
that big guy that got back. I mean, they might be trouble in the tournament, in the SEC tournament.
So now you look at the schedule, and look, the other part about yesterday's game, very clearly, Joe Lunardi all of a sudden went from having him out. I think at the beginning of the day, last four out.
Yeah.
To having them, or first 4 out, to having last 4 in, to having them squarely in the tournament. And I don't put a whole lot of stock into what Lunardi says.
Didn't he have us in the tournament last year and we didn't make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, I don't, fuck it. At the end of the day, look, they've got a stretch of games coming up right now.
Yeah.
Which I believe all but one are quad 1 games and 1 quad 2 games.
You have the schedule?
And, so, look, you got Arkansas at home.
And they just got Nick Smith back.
And they beat us on the road, right?
Right.
They beat us on the road, so it would be avenging one of our 2 SEC losses would be big, huge.
Yep.
You go to Missouri. Missouri won at home.
Just beat Tennessee Tennessee.
Look, that's a good team.
Yeah.
That is a good team. Yeah. Then you got Tennessee at home. Good that it's at home, by the way. I think we match up with Tennessee at to a certain extent. I think that could be a good game, especially at home. We come out with good energy. They have a chance to win that game. But Tennessee's a darn good basketball team.
They really are. They're a good team. They don't have a whole bunch of future pros like the Tennessee of the past. They've had a bunch of guys, but they have a lot of big, strong muscle. I mean, they'll give Marble and Coleman a run for their money. It's going to be
and it's a very different matchup than Alabama, which we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah.
Then we go to Mississippi State.
Who just had a big win yesterday.
Big win, right? Then to Ole Miss, right? So that's 2 road games in a row to 2 schools that are Mississippi State playing better than a lot of people expected them to.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is sort of another one of those games you just can't lose it, even on the road.
Can't lose it. And
then you finish the season with Bama at home. So you get Tennessee and Bama at home. That's a good one. Arkansas, Tennessee, Bama at home. All good things.
So, I mean, what do you think we need to do to just win them all?
Well, if you win them all, you're in pretty good shape.
But
you're in really good shape.
What's realistic? I really think Bama's going to be a tough matchup for us. They're really athletic. We're going to have to play a great game and have a great. Buzz going to have to sit down with his coaching staff and say, what do they do not so well, and what do we do well that can. If we pound the ball inside the Marble and Coleman, is that going to be our...
That's why, to me, it's an interesting situation, right? Because you look at the team, Tennessee, for example, is a very good team, but they're very different from Alabama.
Yeah.
I think we match up with Tennessee a lot better in the sense that both of those teams are probably going to be very defensive-oriented, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to try to get physical with you. They play kind of our style of basketball, right?
Right.
So I do believe that, especially if, Taylor comes out and has a good game, Radford comes out and has a good game, you got a real shot to beat Tennessee at home.
Right.
With Bama, the styles are so contradictory, man. They are so long and athletic.
They look like an NBA team.
Like, their big guys are long and athletic.
Yeah,
they're not like Marble and Coleman, which are all rocked up, but, sort of a little stiff, whatever.
I know what you're saying.
They'll go right by those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll go by them, over them. And they're long, they jump, they can shoot.
So this is where we talk about. This is where we talk about matchups, and we say, okay, well, in that game, you may have a Garcia, Solomon, Obaseki. If he's back.
Yeah.
Right? That match up better against that length, that athleticism of Alabama.
But that's getting us out of our game if we're trying to match up with them. Why? So you see what I'm saying? Why not? Our strength, it wasn't this past game, but it has been in other games, getting the ball down the Marble, getting their big guys in foul trouble. But they do have a little bit of depth. I'm just saying, they have depth. Alabama's got a little bit of everything.
But, this offense has never really run through the post, right? Aggie offense has never – there's times when they try, and Marble has made some plays and Coleman makes some plays from time to time. But those guys aren't exactly what you would call offensive juggernauts, right?
Not at all.
And sometimes Marble's shots go in; they don't ever look pretty.
One of our strengths is offensive rebounding.
Yeah,
and we showed it against Arkansas. We couldn't hit the bull in the butt with a base fiddle, as the old saying. But you never heard that?
No, but go ahead.
But we were getting offensive rebounds and kept us in the game. We shot. It was awful.
Look, and that's a great point. And we get a lot of those offensive rebounds because of the fact is that our perimeter guys and they drive to the basket, they put up shots because they get the defense towards them,
right? And
then off of the rotation, Marble, Coleman make those plays off of the rebounds. Garcia, Solomon, those guys get the rebounds and go make the plays there. That's where their game really is, right?
I agree.
It is Radford, it is Taylor, it is Dexter Dennis, going in, making a play, driving, and either kicking to an open shooter or putting the ball up to the rim and letting our big guys go get an offensive rebound. That's how we play. Or get fouled, for that matter.
Yeah.
So looking at that schedule, I think that they're good enough to go and finish 4-2, 6 games remaining.
Is it 4-2? Is that what we have? Is it 6 games?
Yeah. I think that's 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games remaining. So 4-2.
So you lose.
If you end up 4-2, you're comfortably in the tournament.
I think 3-3 is comfortably in the tournament.
I think 3-3 is you're in that.
Well, you have 10 losses, and how many wins would they get? Where are we right now?
Overall, we're 18-7. I think that gets you to 21.
21-10.
Yeah.
In the SEC, you only have 5 losses in the SEC?
I think right there, then you've probably got to win a couple of games in the SEC tournament at least. Look at what we got last year, right? We still didn't get any respect at tournament time.
But we lost 7 in a row last year in the middle of the season.
In the middle of the season. But we didn't have losses to Murray State, and we didn't have losses to Wofford.
Yeah, that does hurt.
Right.
Yeah, if we didn't have those 2 losses, we'd be 20-5 right now.
If we didn't have those 2 losses, we'd be in now.
Yeah, we'd be top 15 team.
For sure. So, look, they currently sit in second place. We talked about that, right? But not only that, they got a 2-game cushion there. If they finish in second, let's put it this way: they finish in second in the SEC, they're getting in, right?
Yeah.
There's no question.
Right. I think they finish in the top half of the SEC, they get in. Because they're saying they're taking 6 or 7 teams out of the SEC.
I actually think that if they get to a point where they're talking top half, That means that they've lost another 3 games going down the stretch. I don't believe they get in.
I don't think they're going to get it.
Unless they then turn around and get a run in the tournament.
They'll be fine.
Look, no matter what, Buzz Williams has done a great job with this team.
Yeah.
Look, they make teams. Auburn, everybody thinks is a top 25 team. Whatever you think or not, that's where the people have them ranked, right?
Yeah. And
he's taken a team here at A&M that started the season off losing to teams like Murray State and Wofford, and he's got them playing as one of the top 25 teams in the country right now.
Yeah.
10-2 in the SEC, with their only losses to Kentucky and Arkansas, right? I mean, so
on the road,
and both on the road. My point is that what he's done, the effort that they play with, and the grit, the fight, it's just like determination. Mm-hmm. To me, is all coaching, man. All coaching, and that's the one thing. People can talk about Buzz and his record and what he's done here since he's gotten here, and how the lack of tournament and all that. At the end of the day, go look at the talent on that team and where compared to some of the other teams that were playing.
Yeah,
and the way they play, they just is impressive.
Yeah, they did. It is impressive. I mean, they know what they are. They're a scrappy team. They play good defense. They offensive rebound. That's what they are. They're not a great shooting team by any means. They get to the free throw line a lot. But yeah, they make games ugly sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, and that's what they're going to have to do against Alabama. All right, moving on. Baseball starts Friday.
Yep.
It's coming Friday.
Ready?
Play Seattle University.
Yep.
3-game series at Bluebell Park. Exciting start to the game. We'll see where things are with the pitching staff. Who are the guys that are getting in there into the rotation? Who are some of the guys first off the out of the bullpen and those types of things. So tune in for baseball on Friday. Sounds like a good deal. NFL football, Super Bowl today. Today.
What?
Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles are now a 1-point favorite.
Yep.
There's an over-under at 51, so that's gone up since we opened.
Got to get on DraftKings.
All right, what do you expect?
I like the Eagles.
Yeah?
Give me the Eagles. Give me Hurts. I like that defense. They got an all-around team. They got a good team. I mean, I'm not sure about the coach so much. I think he's done a good job just getting out of the way. They got a lot of talent. The Chiefs are good.
That's a myth. The whole idea of an NFL coach getting out of the way is a freaking myth. That's not a thing.
You gotta get away.
It doesn't matter how much talent you got.
Yeah,
NFL coaches have to work because football is the ultimate team sport.
Nah.
It is all about them coming together.
Yeah.
No matter how much talent you have,
sure.
You don't get coached.
Yeah.
You don't play worth the darn.
Gotcha.
Ask the Aggies.
Will do.
Yep. So you expect the Eagles to win?
I do.
I like their defense also. I think they got a better defense.
Yeah.
Offensive line's really good.
Mm-hmm.
They got weapons around Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they got some weapons. I mean, there's a lot of key injuries. Jalen's still hurt a little bit, nicked up. Mahomes is still hurt. Kelsey had the bad back. I mean, you got a lot of superstars that are hurt, but it's going to be a good game. I can't wait to see it.
I think if the Chiefs win, somebody unexpected is going to have a big, big game. It's not going to be Kelsey, for example, right?
What are you thinking, like Jones on the defensive line or something? Or are you talking offense?
Offensively, because I think they're going to have to score some points. I think one of those receivers that hasn't got a lot of pub is going to have to come out, whether it's...
Give me a score prediction. What do you think the final score is going to be? If you just had Eagles, what? The Eagles break 30?
I think they're going to be pretty close. They're in that 28 to 32 range.
For the Eagles?
For the Eagles.
What about the Chiefs?
I think the Chiefs are probably in the
24 to
27 range, somewhere in there.
So you're saying take the over?
It feels like an over with those quarterbacks. It actually does.
Good, because I took the under. That makes me feel really
good
now. Thanks. You just told me under before we came up.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Jerry.
Who's your MVP?
If they win, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. Because I think he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he runs the ball, throws the ball. He's been hurt and still...
Yeah, I think in this game you're really looking at one of the two quarterbacks, right? I mean, if the Chiefs win, it's going to be Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because who else would it be? If Kelsey has a big game, so did Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. They don't run the ball enough. They run the ball a lot on the Eagles, but they got 3 or 4 running backs that touch the ball, and Hurts also runs the ball.
Hurts also going to bring.
So they'll get 200 yards rushing, but 4 guys will get 50 yards.
I think it's one of the 2 quarterbacks. Whoever wins, throw it up.
Unless some defensive player just stands out.
All right, let's get to Aggie football. But first,
Riddick. I'm sorry, Riddick. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a good one. First, the stage is set. We're counting down to the battle in Arizona. There's no better way to get ready for the NFL action than DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can take a shot at an even bigger payout with DraftKings stepped up same-game parlays. Boost your Super Bowl 57 winnings. With each leg, you add up to 100%. Corey, you know how much I personally love the parlays, the teasers, especially in football.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's a love of mine.
Yeah.
It's like when you get to that last game and there's a chance, right? Yeah. You're just sitting there like, oh, there's a chance. Like, it's just bubbly inside. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TPPN. New customers can bet $5 in Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TPPN. That's TPPN. All right.
TPPN.
All right. Now to Aggie football.
Do it.
Corey.
Ready.
We've been
got a lot to talk about right
10
now.
days.
Yeah.
10 days since we last probably had a podcast, maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. But in this time period, something has happened.
Let me guess. Okay, you got me.
Ainias Smith announced he is coming back.
That's huge.
Coming back.
That is huge. Thank you, Ainias. Give us more hope.
I don't know if you know this, Corey, but Ainias is one of the first guys we did a player profile in last year.
Yep.
And the dude, as you know, is my favorite Texas A&M football player.
Yeah. He's the heart and soul of that team. I mean, it sucks he got hurt last year, but I think he gave other players a chance to play and hopefully make us better this year. But yeah, I agree with you. He is he's your favorite player. He's great talent. He can do a little bit of everything. You name the position, he'll play it.
To me, he's the best football player on the team because of leadership, effort, and production.
Yeah.
He's not one of these guys where you say, oh, he's got a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of potential.
He was a 3-star, right?
Yeah, the guy is absolute production, man.
Right.
Look, he's played wide receiver, slot, running back, punt returner,
they had him
kick returner.
Defensive back, I read something on...
he practiced at cornerback at one point and was ready to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This dude, fullback, running back, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
You ask him to get on the field, he's going to go get on the field, and he's going to go. You watch the dude. This is what really. The
O-line last year.
Yeah. Look, and here's the thing: you watch him, and while some other wide receivers may be sitting out there piddling around, this dude's out there trying to find somebody to block, man, and hit.
Something I heard on the Texags thing. They were saying Ainias by himself is good for maybe 3 to 5 points a game. You agree with that?
I think that he definitely makes us better. I don't know. With this offense, it was so bad, right?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. 3 to 5 points. I can understand maybe you get an extra 25, 30 yards a game out of it, but he's not blocking. He's not, you know what I'm saying?
No, but, the thing that
he played the game against App State. He didn't get hurt in that game.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, not until Arkansas.
Yeah, so, it's just... I don't get there.
The offense was so bad that everybody. And having said that, right, he was on pace to probably 900 yards when he got hurt for the season. So he was going to have a good season, right? Probably his best season as far as yardage is concerned if he'd have stayed healthy. He does help you win a game or maybe 2 more just because of his presence on that offense and the things that he does even without the ball in his hand.
So if he doesn't get hurt last year, are we talking Moose Muhammad at all this coming year?
That's the other question, right? Is do you have a situation where all of a sudden Moose doesn't really get the recognition that he should because he's not on the field like he should be?
Right. Because, I mean, everything Ainias does, and we lost some production of him, but I don't think we lost a whole lot because Moose balled out. You know, Moose.
To me, though, that's the guys I'd have both of those guys on the field along with Stewart, right? I mean, you get those three playmakers on the field, you can do whatever the heck you want to.
A problem we had last year is Jimbo didn't know how to deal with all that talent. This year we don't have the same problem because
he likes to put the big guy. He likes to put like a big receiver out there.
Well, I can understand that.
I don't put my three best guys out there, and I understand when you go 4 wide, sure, and every once in a while you take one of those guys off the field, give him a rest, put up another big guy in there. Yeah, sure. Right. But you start the game with your 3 best wide receivers out there and you let them play. That's my point. And this year, you know, with the inexperience at running back, he may get some touches there. I'd rather see him used as a wide receiver with situations in which they motion him into the backfield to maybe get him the ball sometimes or use him on a jet sweep. Right. Maybe even motion him in to be the fullback, all of a sudden turn into a 2-back set and do those things. Jimbo's no longer calling the plays. We'll see if some creativity
I'm just saying Jimbo never would have done that. He could have had all the talent that he had last year and didn't know how to get everybody the ball. He got involved in the game.
And that's the whole thing. It's trying to just be innovative with the ways that you get guys the ball. Right. Putting defenses in a bad spot doing that. Right. Anyway, about it. Look, this is a guy that, you know, he led the team in receptions and touchdowns the year before. Mm-hmm. He led the team in receiving yards the year before that. Mm-hmm. He, you know, the guy as a freshman in the bowl game came in when we didn't have basically a tailback and came in and played tailback. Yeah. You know, the dude is 100% an all-team guy. All-team.
I agree with you. What exactly was his injury? What was it from last year? Do you remember? I just want to make sure it's not something that's lingering, ongoing. Was it an ACL? I don't remember what it was, to be honest. I didn't know if it was something that's going to be hard to come back and be the Ainias that he was before with the speed, the quickness.
I don't think so.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's always something that worries me when guys come back from injuries.
I mean, obviously,
it's long-term effect.
But it was so early in the season that he's going to have a long time to recover, right? So that's the one good part about having been early in the season. You know, you also got to think about, you know, and people will say, okay, yeah, whatever, his numbers haven't been that great. Go look at the games against the best teams we played. Alabama every year. Oh, he 2 touchdowns years ago, 2 touchdowns the year before. Mm-hmm. Balls out 30 some odd yards as a sophomore, 89 more with 2 touchdowns as a junior. I mean, he does his best work against the best teams. Right. You know? And I think it's because he takes it upon himself to step his game up even more whenever the team needs him even more, right?
They're going to need him a lot next year.
And we have, you know, once again, the leadership aspect. I think is even bigger than what he brings there. I'm super excited about Ainias coming back. I really believe that it takes this offense from where, you know, a place where it was at, and it takes it up a notch.
I think it helps a young quarterback a lot.
Yeah.
You know, give you that confidence because they don't drop a lot of passes. No. I mean, you look at him and Moose, they're not going to drop a lot. I mean, Stewart's still young. I don't think he dropped a whole lot. Green, you know, I mean, they got some guys with decent hands. That's what you need. Because you remember Wademeyer the year before last, he kept dropping all those damn passes. We're like, let's make our quarterbacks looking worse because you're not holding them.
Right, because you can't depend on the guy that's your outlet.
But the year before that, he was catching everything.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting to see what this offense looks like here coming the spring. We're going to talk a little bit about that. What do you expect from him in 2023?
Honestly, I expect him to have a good season, but there's a lot of talent out there, and it's already proven because you have Moose and Stewart and Green at tight end. Now the running back situation is different. So if they told me he's going to play running back more, I'd feel more confident about him getting his touches. But I'm worried about his touches because you got 4 guys right there. I just said that you got to keep them happy, right?
I believe this offense is going to be a much more passing
offense. It's going to be distributed.
I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more.
Well, shit, we threw the ball a lot last year.
Well, not necessarily, right? I mean, comparatively speaking.
I mean, we got sacked a lot. You know, we've got a lot of 3 and outs.
A lot of 3 and outs, and so that always kills the attempts, right? But I think this offense is, especially this year, because of the nature of the wide receiver position, the guys we have there, as well as tight end, and because it's a more inexperienced group of tailbacks, right? I think you're looking at an offense that's probably going to try to take advantage of the talent on the perimeters.
But, I mean, when you say that, what are you talking about? More screen passes? You talking more bubble screens? You talking...
As I've said before...
I mean, isn't that the way you get the ball to him real quick?
Yeah, but he's not afraid to go deep. Unlike Jimbo, he will throw the ball deep. So there's going to be some deep passes mixed in on that. But, yeah, I do expect them to have some quick passing game, some deep strike stuff, and quick deep strike stuff. Like, boom, it's a go. It's out there.
Alabama slants, that's what they lived by with all the talented receivers they had back in the day. I mean, you see a little slant, they take it 70 yards for a touchdown. I'd love to see something like that. Something
option routes too.
That's
I think where Ainias might get a lot of his work. Just a little quick, boop, get him the ball, let him make a play.
Exactly, because that's the thing. Get the ball out of your hands quick.
But he's done a lot of work in the seams, right? He's done a lot of work in the seams, corner routes. He loves those corner routes. He obviously the.
But those corner routes take a little bit of time to develop, right? I mean, you got to in and out.
They do have a little, but it's a little bit.
I'm talking that offensive line. The problem with them last year was holding up in protection. Mm-hmm. I want to see him get rid of that.
Offensive line's got to be better, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
Look, I expect him to have rocket science. I expect him to have his best year this coming year. Okay. I expect him to have his best year numbers wise.
Really?
Numbers wise.
Even with
that he's never had more than 600 passing receiving yards, right?
I didn't know that. Well, I mean, he was hurt last year. The first year he was a running back / he's a hybrid. Yeah, I mean, I could see. I mean, what are you thinking? 1,000 yards receiving?
I'm thinking probably you've probably got 3 guys that have between 900 and 600 yards. 3, whereas we haven't had one in 3 years, right? So
how many yards is Wegman going to throw for this year? Like 3,000?
I think he's good. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the 3,000 area. Yeah, for sure. I think he's going to surpass 3,000 yards.
So you're going to have a lot of 300-yard passing games, you're saying?
I mean, I don't know. It's a lot, but he's going to be right in that mark, right? Yeah. Every week he's going to be right around that mark. Unlike last year, where it was if he got 200, it was like, whoa,
yeah, exactly.
200 yards passing. Amen to that.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
What's up, Ags?
That's a big difference.
That is a big difference. All right. Look, this team is still looking for offensive coach and a defensive coach. The offensive guys, I don't know, probably wide receivers, maybe a running backs coach. Defensive guy.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a safeties guy. I think Durkin moves down to linebacker. Look, this is a problem, by the way. The maroon and white game is scheduled for April 15th, 2023 at 3 p.m. at Kyle Field, maroon and white game.
We'll be there.
That means that practice starts in about 5 weeks from now. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more.
We don't even have all our coaches.
And we don't have coaches. And these guys still have to learn the playbook. They got to meet the players. They don't know the players. They don't know the schemes. They need to those guys should be on campus by now. There's no reason why this team with this coaching staff, with this money, with these facilities, is at this point in the season and doesn't have their coaching staff.
They're waiting for the Super Bowl. They've got a coach over there somewhere. Probably going to come.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
Could be.
Look, they've been turned down by some guys too, so it happens. Yeah. But at the end of the day,
so is Nick Saban. He's been turned down by something.
Sure, everybody gets turned down.
Jeez, yeah.
Everybody gets turned down. That's not my point.
Put your big boy pants on.
That's not my point.
Everybody, yeah.
Get your guys in the damn door because practice is about to start.
Well, you got to get the right guy. You just don't get a guy. You get the right guy. Right?
So here at A&M, you can't figure out who that right guy is by now?
No. There are other
season, by the way, they didn't play a bowl game. They didn't play a bowl game. That season ended at the end of November.
Next coach up steps up and just has
the season ended at the end of November.
2 jobs. We've done 2 jobs before. They'll be fine.
Get your guy in, Jimbo.
Yeah, they're fine.
Freaking horrible, man.
Yeah.
Should still be looking for some help at linebacker in the portal.
Need a lot of help at linebacker in the portal.
The thing is, a lot of really good linebackers have come in and out of the portal by now. I did see a guy, Ashanti Seastrunk, out of Ole Miss, who played for Durkin. I think he's still in there. Yeah. I don't know if you might call him, give him a call.
Yeah, he probably didn't like Durkin.
Probably not. Because he's a douchebag. Yeah. Anthony Maddox, the quarterback out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yeah.
borderline 3-4 star guy right now. He's going to end up being a 4-star guy.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done. And they bring him in as a recruit. He's committed for the 24 class. Thoughts?
I'm glad we got another quarterback in there, but nothing right now, to be honest with you. He looks thin, and I mean, like he needs some weight put on him, but
he's
good arm,
got good
athletic.
size. He's got decent size. He's got a good arm. He's athletic. You know, he can make literally. Man, he can make all the throws. He throws the ball to the outside. He throws the ball in the middle of the field. You know, he likes to go deep, do all those things, and he delivers a nice ball on that. He's not like overly like. He doesn't have a gun, but he's got a good enough arm. I'll tell you this. Somebody compared him to Lamar Jackson, and that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard, by the way.
There's not a whole lot of Lamar Jacksons out there.
No.
That's comparing somebody to Michael Jordan in basketball. Right. That's Michael. Okay.
Good luck with that.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
All I'm saying is, like, he's not even at the same athletic level as, like, Lamar's kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good athlete.
Lamar's good.
Yeah. Lamar is one of the best athletes on the planet.
Yeah, it's sick what that guy can do with
that.
I mean,
he's not Lamar Jackson, guys.
He is the Baltimore Ravens offense. Yeah. It's obvious. Look what happened to him this year when he went down. I mean, that guy needs help. He needs to get paid, by the way.
It is. He does need to get paid, and I'm pretty sure somebody's going to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of some news on the transfer portal as well. A couple of the A&M guys find some homes.
All right.
Donnell Harris is going to Louisiana Monroe. I think Anthony Lucas we'd already said to USC. Darius Jones is going to Memphis. Groves Killebrew we said Louisville. Smoke to Georgia. Devin Price to App State. Terry and Lee, Georgia Southern. Miles Jones over to Duke and play for former coach
Yeah, I know.
Elko.
Yeah.
Judy over to Nebraska. Brian George to U of H. Josh Moten to Marshall. Yokeith Brown to Tulane. So all these guys finding homes. I think the only scholarship guy that still hasn't decided where he's going is Dallas Walker.
Yeah.
You know, this whole thing of, 50% of these guys never find a home or whatever. Well, they all find a home when they're Aggie football players, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, 16 of them ended up in Power 5 schools. I don't think you can blame them for doing whatever.
I can't blame them one bit. I just don't want to see what happened to JT Daniels and these other guys where they go from one school to the next school. Find a home, stay there, do the best you can.
Absolutely.
It just drives me nuts when I see a guy transfer out. Something's not going his way. I'm leaving. It's too easy now. I hate that.
Too easy.
I hate that. You got to put your big boy pants on and say, hey, I'm getting coached. I made a decision to come to this school.
Look, but some of these guys, it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean,
it does.
They see the writing on the wall. They've sort of gotten passed up or whatever. Hey, look, go find a place you can play. I fully support it, right? I agree with that. Go do it.
But a lot of these guys, okay, how many guys on an NFL on a college football roster? 85 scholarship players. Out of those 85, how many of them are going to the NFL?
Small percentage.
No,
unless
if
you play at Alabama
you
or
get
Georgia.
a degree from Texas A&M, what does that go for?
Well,
it goes for a lot, does it not?
It does. And the degree and the ring, it gives them a lot, right? Because you've got these guys that have been former Aggies and are back, or not former Aggies, you're never a former Aggie or Aggie graduates, and have come back to town and are supported by the community in their endeavors, right?
Plenty of ex-Aggies that were great college football players, they're in Bryan College Station, have jobs here, making a great living.
Their own businesses.
Exactly. Having a great time, living the dream. But these guys, they think, maybe the grass is greener in Nebraska. Maybe it's better in whatever. But I'm telling you, it's not going to get any better than Texas A&M.
And that's the whole thing, right? I mean, and if you're smart and you come in, you're a good Aggie, whatever, and all those things, you can parlay that into a good future for yourself, whether you go to the NFL or not. But you could also parlay a good coaching staff, if you get coached well, into a trip to the NFL. So
that is true. But I'm just saying, a small percentage of these guys,
of course,
go to the league, and the expectancy to play in that league is only 3 to 4 years, maybe max. Yeah. So I mean, have a backup plan. Is all I'm saying. Grow up, understand that life happens real quick.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you give up on your dream either.
No,
right?
I'm not telling them to give up on the dream. I'm saying when you make a decision, understand that you got to stick to it. I mean, I understand circumstances are different, but you got 25, 30 players leaving a program. I mean, you walk through that door for a reason. Maybe, I'm not sure what the situation. I don't know if Jimbo lied to him. I don't know if these guys hey, he told me I was going to do this and this didn't happen. Maybe I'm just saying.
Look, if you're Marcus Burris, you were a borderline 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
You're a big-time ball player, and within a year, your freshman year, you can't get on the field, and your sophomore year, you've been passed up by 3 freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why wouldn't you leave? I fully think he should leave. It's smart in his
different situations. I'm saying all these guys leaving, coming, it's ridiculous. The whole NIL, I'm fine with that. I'm talking about the transfer portal. People coming and going.
We watched the
basketball game last night, and 4 of the 5 starting Aggies were transfers, and 4 or 5 of the starting LSU players were transfers.
Everybody but Will Taylor, basically, on that team.
I'm just saying, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it's kind of killed. It's killed a little bit of the game for me.
It does. It makes it tougher, and
I want teams to get built. Right? I want to see a team get built, and next year say, hey, man, we got all these guys returning.
But in specific, with regards to the Aggie team and the way that things were last year, I don't blame these guys because not only was Jimbo not going to get them to the NFL, by the way, he also wasn't doing anything to sort of develop them as far as their presence in everything, right?
I understand that.
They weren't getting any recognition. So. And look, and there's a group of these guys that got into trouble and everything else, and look, they were going to leave. That's fine.
That's fine. I can understand them leaving. So, hey, I got in trouble there. I need to go.
And then there's a group of the guys that have been around a little bit longer that got passed up, and they're going to leave. And that's understandable.
It's too easy now. That's my thing. It's just too easy.
That's been going on for years, by the way. Juniors, guys that are juniors, they're getting passed up. They're young and getting into.
But you see a lot more now than what you did.
Of course, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's easier. Sure. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so. Look, anyway about it is the world we live in.
I'd like to know what people watching think about the transfer portal because it drives me nuts sometimes to see all the guys and we knew it was going to happen in this season. We're going. We knew,
and it's not done yet, right?
Yeah,
there's another window. There's another window after spring practice. So
because some guys might get their feelings hurt in spring practice. Like I'm not getting the playing time I thought I deserved. Yeah. I want to transfer to UTSA.
Well, coaches can leave anytime they want to. So
that's
the way it goes, man. Today's college football. Texas and Oklahoma will join the SEC in the 2024 season. This is a year earlier than they were scheduled to be. Everybody had sort of given up on that. A week earlier, they had said, no, we're just going to stick around until 2025.
I'm surprised they're not in 2023, to be honest with you. Once they announced it, I thought
$100 million is what they're paying to get out.
How much are they going to make when they join the SEC?
Not $100 million.
It's going to be close.
You know what they made? SEC teams made this year? $49.9 million.
All right. So they make it up in, 2 years almost, you're saying?
No, because Big 12 programs do make money,
Yeah, but I'm saying.
So what's the difference? They made let's say they made $35 million.
Is $100 million a lot of money to those schools, you think?
Yes,
I don't think it is.
I think it's a lot of money, and it's also
because they paid it, and they paid it for 1 year earlier.
It's also but it's also the reason
these guys aren't idiots.
They were negotiating. That took a negotiation to get up to $100 million.
Why'd they want to leave 1 year earlier?
Well, I imagine
if you're saying $100 million is such a big
because their big boosters wanted to get the heck out of there.
That's what I'm saying.
But the fact of the matter is, number one, I still think it's the wrong move for a team like Oklahoma, who's dominated the Big 12 and get to the college football playoffs every year, to cut into the Big 12 to be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I also think, for example, USC leaving the Pac-12 is retarded to go to the Big 10 because all of a sudden, from every year competing for a college football playoff spot to in the Big 10 in the middle of the pack once again, where you're competing with Ohio State and Michigan and those guys, that to me, what's the point? What is the point? But the other thing that happens in 2024 is 12-team playoff.
There you go. So, you got... I don't know. I enjoy the competition. I think every week we're going to have better games now because, we had great games as it was. But I'm talking conference games. If you throw in Oklahoma, Texas, I'm going to love watching the Aggies roll the shit out of the Longhorns down here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I can't
100%.
wait for it.
And look, it looks like, right now there's two this becomes now the new conversation. What's the schedule for 2024 in the SEC going to be?
Yeah.
And there's two basic options. One is one rivalry, so an 8-team, stay in an 8-game SEC schedule.
Well, who leads from the West to go to the East?
No conferences. No divisions,
I hate that.
Stay in an 8-game SEC schedule with one rivalry game, and then 7 rotating teams where you play a team every other year, basically. The rest of the league every other year.
Yeah.
1 rivalry game. They say that our rivalry game would be LSU, right? Now, I don't like that one as much as I like the 9-game SEC schedule, which I think is the really. Listen, let's get rid of one of these cupcakes anyway, right? We don't like that last cupcake. Like the last cupcake right before LSU. Let's get rid of that.
Oh, yeah,
right?
it does suck.
That's a
I thought you were talking about App State being our cupcake.
No. They beat us. Yep.
Horrible game, end of the year, makes no sense.
Shit about it, yeah.
Let's get rid of that. Add another SEC game.
Right.
And then you get 3 rivalry games and 6
out of conference games.
6 rotating.
Yeah.
In the conference, you play a team, the remaining 6 teams or 12 teams once every other year.
Who are our rivals?
In that case, they're saying the rivals would be LSU,
Texas,
and Mississippi State.
The fuck?
I don't know.
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know. But you gotta have
That
one.
sounds dumb as shit. Mississippi State. I mean, I liked it. LSU,
Yeah, you can only
Texas, and Mississippi State.
That's what we get.
That's excellent. Okay.
But look, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that schedule.
Honestly, I'm enjoying playing South Carolina every year. They're getting better. I enjoy playing them.
Yeah,
I like playing Arkansas every year.
Yeah,
Why
but
can't you put Arkansas as a rival?
Well,
I mean, shit.
and that's the problem is Arkansas. They had 3 other teams that they put in there for them. But my point is that I'd rather have those 3 than South Carolina. By the way, there's no natural rivalry with South Carolina. That's just a whatever game.
Why have we been playing for the last 10 years?
Doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
But Arkansas, we've been playing them. I mean, that's the only good thing about the Arkansas. We lose the Jerry World game or whatever.
Get rid of that.
We'll have actually a home and
away.
Yeah.
So I like it. I hope they go to the 9-team SEC schedule. I still hope that they continue to have that requirement to have another Power 5 conference in the non-conference,
Yeah.
And that way, at most, you've got 2 sort of cupcake-type games.
Yeah.
And college football gets better. Not to mention, you want to play a tougher schedule with a 12-team playoff because you want to prepare yourself to get into that.
Yeah.
And the better teams you play, the better you're going to be to play in that tournament.
And all our sports get better, not just football. I mean, basketball. Texas is a good basketball team. Oklahoma's been good in the past at basketball. I mean, baseball, they're both good. I mean, every sport aspect, it gets tougher.
Look, and both of those teams, Oklahoma took a step back this past year. We don't really know what Venables is going to end up doing. You hope that, I think you'll see a little bit better program this year than last year. We'll see. Texas has been supposedly on the rise. Their talent level is definitely on the rise with Sarkisian.
Right. But what does this do to the Big 12?
They bring a lot of talent, man.
What does this do to the Big 12? Are they even a...
Look, Big 12 is adding U of H this year. They're adding Cincinnati. They're adding BYU. Is it BYU?
Yeah.
And UCF, right? So
I mean, they're nice schools, but it's not Texas and Oklahoma.
It's not, but to me,
I mean, it almost sounds like you're going into another conference instead of the Big 12.
I think those teams all of a sudden, I don't know, man. Are they going to get better? Who knows? I think all those teams probably get better, and so all of a sudden, U of H is a prominent recruiting location.
They should call it like the Little 12 or something. Shouldn't call it Big 12 anymore.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Just saying.
And they'll get a team into the Big 12, into the 12-team playoff.
Yeah. Get their ass kicked. Go ahead.
All right. Questions from the tailgate brought to you by David Kaufman, PLC, tax controversy and litigation lawyer, smart solutions for federal tax issues, experience, respected representation for taxpayers, over 20 years of experience in tax controversy, with offices located in South Lake, Texas, and now opening in Bryan College Station. Call 817-251-7049. All right, question number 1. 3 biggest questions Aggie football has to answer in the spring.
Offensive line.
Yep.
Linebackers coach or linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, I'm curious. I'm not sure if you're going to see it in the spring game, but I want to see the offensive play style, what they're going to do. If it's going to be a downfield pass, going to be a quick hitter, what kind of running back scheme they're going to use. I mean, there's a lot of questions. There's a shit ton, not just a few. I think who's going to be your starting running back? I don't know. But offensive line and linebacker.
There's tons of questions. Sure, of course, you can come out with tons of questions.
Offensive line is my biggest, I think.
I think that there are a few important.
But we're not going to see it at the spring. We didn't see it last year. Spring prices offensive line looked like shit until the game started.
Well, they didn't look good in the spring either.
Well, I mean, I didn't see a lot of it. I mean, turn
you know, to me, the offensive line is definitely a question. But even more important than that to me is what's Petrino doing with this scheme as a whole, right? Because once again, I think that he has to come in and open things up for these playmakers, right? He has to start giving the playmakers a chance to make plays. That's the difference between a good offense and a bad offense, and what Jimbo has been doing for years in a crappy offense. And now Petrino's going to get a shot to play with all these players and the tools that they bring. Will you allow them to use those tools?
Are you going to let them do, like, you think they'll do rub routes and shit like that?
We're going to have to see.
Can't wait.
We're going to have to see. That's question number one to me. Here's my second one.
Mm-hmm.
Will Durkin quit being a complete idiot and actually play 4 down linemen on a regular basis? Complete idiot.
If he does play 3 linemen, I mean, unless it's a freaking...
Third and 75.
Yeah, exactly. He should be fired right there on the spot. Because we told him over on the podcast. I mean, if he's not listening to us, then something's wrong with him.
Something's wrong with him. Question number 3 to me is what you said, the offensive line. Coming in, all those guys coming back, what do we see from those guys in the spring? How much better are they?
It's not a talent issue with the guys at the offensive line. It's coaching. It's all coaching, and it's play calling and understanding.
Schematics and coaching.
Yes. Does a quarterback understand the play? Can you get him out of the play if he doesn't see it right? Because they weren't doing that last year.
All right, question number 2. MVP for the A&M basketball team.
Boots.
I think it's Wade Taylor.
Well, you're wrong.
I think it's Wade Taylor, and I think that's going to even come more true as the season continues to progress.
Wade hit a couple of big shots last night, but for the whole season, the guy's 6'2", damn near leads the team in rebounding. He puts the team on his back against who was
I love Boots, man.
Yeah,
I love Boots.
I mean, he damn near beat Kentucky by himself.
I love Boots.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
I do.
If you loved him, you'd say MVP.
I love the guy.
I don't think you do.
But I think this team without Wade Taylor is 500.
Crazy. What are they without Boots? Maybe 300?
No. Maybe.
You're an idiot.
Giga Maggie's AP, the delivery man, signing out.
All right. Let's go to the Super Bowl.
Super